Hello. Oh, there I am. Hi. How you doing, Freyja?
I'm good. How are you, Aqua?
I'm doing good. It's Saturday night. How is chat doing?
How you doing, chat? How's
you
it
doing?
going? How you doing?
Did everybody have a good flat fuck Friday yesterday?
I sure did. You?
I sure did.
Yay!
Yay!
Be good.
Oh my gosh. Look at us. Oh my gosh.
What a way to start off a stream.
I know, right? Oh my goodness, though. I have been looking forward to tonight's stream. Tonight is going to be very fun, I think.
I think so too. I hope so.
I hope so. Oh my gosh. I'm excited.
We have new and improved graphics and everything. It's gonna be really good.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting to a good part of the story.
Yes, I'm excited to show you guys. This is gonna be just a new and improved Fata Morgana. I'm excited. Hey Karen, how are you? Oh my gosh. Yes, and New and Corin are here, and Melly was here earlier.
Yeah.
So many good people in chat tonight.
Good. Strap in, everybody. This
Yeah.
is gonna be a wild chapter.
Yes, we're hoping that we can finish chapter 4 tonight. So that's gonna be exciting.
I believe in us. I think we can do it.
Mm-hmm, me too. I think we can. I really am looking forward to hearing everybody's thoughts as we finish it.
Me too! Hello, Derek!
Tarek, hello! Good evening! Good to see you! Alright, should we start our little recap of last week?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so, first off last week, we, like the player character, the mysterious you, the master of the mansion according to the maid, after finishing the third chapter, the third door, we just kind of like ended up alone in the mansion, which is weird because the maid is, up until then, had always been with us, and she makes such a big deal out of holding her hand to not get separated from her, but she was just kind of gone. And so we were like, huh, that's weird. And we had an interesting conversation with a man and a portrait on the wall. He was mostly just like, man, I don't know who you are. I don't know who the maid is. I'm just vibing here. I'm just here because I regretted a lot of stuff that I did in my life.
He was also like, you can't ask a painting why he's a painting.
Yeah, it was like, that's very rude. We did fondle him. We fondled him and we got a neat little key to the master bedroom. He said that she tossed it in him. I was very mad about the littering. To be fair, that is very rude.
Right? Like, that's my pretty portrait that you just threw a key into.
Imagine somebody just throws a key at you and you're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So, key in hand, we decide to maybe go, like, explore the mansion on our own for a bit, because the man in the painting was like, well, like, if you're on your own, like, the mansion might react differently to you than it does to when you're with the maid, so, like, maybe you'll get something worthwhile out of checking it out. So, we go and explore basically every room in the mansion. We do find some, like, creepy kind of little ghosts of all the main characters of each door, kind of in the place where, like, you know, associated with them. Mel's hanging out in the rose garden being sad. Yukimasa's going very beast mode in the cellar. Jacopo's playing some billiards in the den. And we even saw, like, a little vision of a memory in the master bedroom that we, like, opened up with the key we got from the portrait man. It was very mysterious. It seemed like some lady talking to somebody who was in the room. But, you know, just a memory of her.
Yeah.
But eventually, after all that exploring, we do reunite with the maid, and she promises us that now she's going to show us the final door and reveal basically the secrets of the curse itself, and hopefully this should be the one to bring back our memories and help us figure out what our identity is.
Yeah.
So the final door is up a long staircase in a tower
Mm-hmm.
in the mansion at the very top. And like we get this very foreboding feeling at the like climbing these stairs and getting to the top. But then we open up the door and we start the 4th chapter.
Dun, dun, dun. And it's without the maid, too. So we kind of jump into it and we see a little bit of it from just our perspective. And then, I don't even remember what happens exactly. And then we get pulled out of it again. Is that when we... No.
No, we start a little bit of it from the like white-haired girl's perspective, because apparently we get into like the memories faster than the maid did. So she's not narrating, the white-haired girl is narrating for a little bit.
Yeah, at the very beginning. Yeah. So she talks about how she was being hunted, and so she ran into the she was hiking, and she went up and she found the mansion. She's like, well, sounds like I'm gonna go in here now. So she gets into the mansion, and then I think that's pretty much where the maid takes over, and it's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, so getting in there as the white-haired girl, we go over to like the chapel with the stained glass window of the angel. Oh yes, and this chapter takes place like 500 years before Mel's chapter does, so it predates everything else we've seen so far. But yeah, she goes into the chapel and looks at, the stained glass window, and there's a man in there named Michel who greets her. Not in the most friendly way, that's for sure. He's just like, hey, this is my house. Why are you in here?
Please don't kick me out.
Yeah, she's basically like, I literally have nowhere else to go. They're hunting me because they think I'm a witch for my hair and eyes. Please let me stay. And he's like, well, this house is cursed, so like, you're gonna regret it if you stay here. And she's like, well, I'll die also if I go outside, so I'm just gonna stay here. That's fine.
Poison. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she ends up just kind of staying there, kind of to Michelle's, reluctance. And she decides that she's gonna like try and kind of do what she can for him, kind of not just be like someone who loafs around the house. But like she notices that like Michelle doesn't really warm up to her. He kind of avoids her. He won't even really touch her. He's very curt with her. Just like, kind of strange, but like she kind of gets this feeling that they're like sort of kindred spirits in a way, that there's like something to it.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually she does manage to kind of confront him about this and be like, you do all this strange stuff. What exactly is this curse? Like what's going on? And he ends up admitting to her that he's cursed, and anything that he touches basically dies immediately. And he shows her by like going outside and letting a butterfly land on her finger, or on his finger, and it just withers and dies basically immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So, like he killed his mother when she gave birth to him, and he got basically sent here to, stay away from people so that his curse would not spread. And the white-haired girl, she says like, well, clearly then your avoidance of me was like actually kindness. You were trying to make sure that there wasn't an accident where, I accidentally touched you or something like that, or we didn't run into each other. And she confesses that she's in love with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he like is very surprised by this, and basically just says that he'd consider it, and he disappears for a few days, which freaks her out,
So understandable. I would be too.
Yeah, you tell a guy you love him, and he just is like, okay, I need to think about that, and then you don't see him for days.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So eventually she goes to his room, and works up her courage to knock on his door, only for him to come right out and be like, oh, well, I didn't see you because I was working on this for you. And it's like a little necklace with a bell attached. So that way, like, if she's walking around the mansion, she can basically like, he can basically hear her coming so that they don't accidentally run into each other in the hallways, and, like, really decreases the risk of him accidentally, you know, touching and killing her. Which is, it's like basically his awkward way of, like, saying that he loves her too and he wants her to stay. Yeah, he's very tsundere.
He's very cute. We love him in this
Yeah.
episode.
But that is pretty much where we left off, actually. Like, we know what Michelle's curse is, that he cannot touch other living beings. He's allowed the white-haired girl to stay, like, he's pretty much done what he can to make sure that she can survive and live a happy life with him, and she's resolved to love him despite the curse, despite that she can never touch him.
Yeah, true love.
Wow, it's very romantic.
It is. We also found out that, first of all, she calls herself Giselle.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah!
That's a big deal. She gives her name.
Yeah, so she gives her name, which is Giselle. And then there's actually some spookiness that we discovered where, in the... if you open up the dialogue menu, or like the... No, what is it? Yeah.
The backlog?
Like backlog, there we go. If you open up the backlog and take a look, some of the words are like crossed out, or there's some mysterious red text in there. Oh, it's so spooky. It's so spooky.
Mm-hmm. There's some spooky red text just about, like, you know, creating a wonderful story, talking about the final, like, curtain in a stage play lifting, things like that.
Yeah, super spooky.
Yeah, it's very mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of, like, things get kind of censored out in the backlog, too. A lot of words, including consistently anytime the white-haired girl is called Giselle, that is a consistent thing that is censored, which is very interesting. I wonder what it means.
Me too.
I have no idea.
Me neither.
Maybe we'll have to figure it out together, chat.
Yeah, let's go.
Alright then. So, let's hop on over. And we are going to... Oh my gosh, it did the thing again, where I set up the game, and then it decides, no, I'm actually not gonna fit the way you wanted me to.
Oh, yeah.
That happened to me last time too, and I'm still trying to figure out why.
I know if you go from, like, windowed to, like, full screen, then it adjusts the size then too.
It's funny because, like, I adjusted it while in full screen, and now
weird.
just between scenes, and I even, like, went in between scenes back and forth while setting up the stream to, like, try and make sure that it didn't do that. But of course, the second I actually hit, you know, start streaming, it doesn't want to do that anymore. But alright.
Of course.
So, this is a look at the Switch console release of Fata Morgana, which basically has, like, you know, HD updated graphics, very updated backgrounds you guys will see, and it's just very pretty. I'm really excited to show you guys.
I'm so excited.
So yeah. Let's jump right into it.
Oh, it really is updated.
Yeah, look at, like, even the text box is way fancier now.
Yeah. And that marked the true beginning of their quiet days together in the Dark Mansion. They acknowledged and accepted each other's presence, no longer isolating themselves, but actively, regularly conversing. As mundane as it may seem, it was something they had been unable to attain until then. Nevertheless, they were still somewhat fumbling around in the dark with one another, drawing closer and pushing away again. Michel, in his own ungraceful way, was beginning to open himself up to the things she said.
Carl Lobster, hello! It is so good to see you here!
Welcome!
If you guys weren't here last week, Carl Lobster is another VTuber. We rated him last week and found out that he actually also really likes Fata Morgana!
Yes!
So, super exciting to have him here.
Please follow him if you're not already.
Yes, he's great. I really enjoyed watching his stream during the raid last week, so he's super
really
great.
good.
God,
Yeah.
I need to get my bot set up for shoutouts, but please check him out. He's so great.
Yeah. Thank you for joining.
Yes, it's so good to see you here.
And the white-haired girl was beginning to smile with greater frequency. They had taken to dining together, and her wish of learning to read was being granted. He taught her in the feeble light of a candle placed upon the table, the two sitting across from one another. Though Michel seemed to be well educated, he had not been instructed in the art of teaching, so he found the process quite grueling. But to the white-haired girl, the longer it took, the better. Her primary objective was, after all, to spend time with him. The days passed, and eventually, she reached the point where her comprehension was adequated enough without assistance. Her next request, then, was for them to read through a book together.
Aww.
Oh, this is new.
Yeah, see, like how just updated the entire background is.
Yeah.
It's so fancy. Alright, have you read every book in the library? No, I stopped looking at them after a while. Most everything I'm sent is dull, uninformative dreck. The Diary of a Lord, foolish make-believe tales. You're not fond of fiction, I take it? What value is there in the lies and fantasies of another? Stories can be invigorating. Tales of adventure can take you places you could never go. Legends of heroes, folklore, stories of otherworldly phenomena. They can be terrifying and they can be exhilarating. They may not be real, but they give you a little glimpse into the author's heart, let you feel like you're seeing the same thing they saw. You are a very empathetic girl. Fiction inspires nothing of the sort in me. However, perhaps long ago, it may have been able to, though I can no longer remember what it feels like. I'm sure it'll come back to you. You're not an empty man. Sorry. I'm not making you uncomfortable again. How about we read this book today? Oh, it's making you want to get back into writing, Tyrek. I feel that.
Good, it's very good.
It appears to be a collection of legends. You haven't read this one yet, then? That's good to hear. It'll be more enjoyable if it's a new experience for the both of us. It looks like it's a record of local legends? The book is divided into several sections, but appears to be mostly superstitions. I am curious what kind of stories this area has. Oh, that sounds super comfy though.
It
I'm
does.
like, isolated in the hotel doesn't sound fun, but like at least you had such a nice story to keep you company through it. I'm sure that made it way more bearable.
Little escape.
The
two of them were looking down at a simple, undecorated volume. I was like, what is this word?
I'm gonna adjust the window again. You keep reading, though.
As the white-haired girl had said, it seemed to be a collection of local legends passed down generation to generation. They sat across one another at the table, her turning the pages, and Michelle simply watching so as not to brush against her. Eventually, her eyes were drawn to a particular word on one of the pages, bringing her hands to a stop.
Oh, that does sound so, like, just like it had the perfect atmosphere for this game. That's so
goodness.
cool.
Yeah, for real.
I bet that just, like, heightened the experience so much. The witch. You took a bite of food hoping that I'd be talking for a while, didn't you? Foolish.
Foolish! That chapter detailed the story of a witch, or, more precisely, said witch's curse. The story went something like this. There once was a witch.
Hi, Rafferty. It's good to see you. Oh, we're in chapter 4. Oh no, your poor stomach. I hope you feel better. Definitely,
Yeah.
like, rest. I know I hate that. But I appreciate you stopping in. Oh, you're here to witness true love? Aw, us
It's
too.
very sweet. Yeah. We're all here for
I know,
it.
Frey and I are so excited about getting to this point in the story.
We've been waiting since we
I
started.
know, we've been so excited. So we're really happy to be here. So good to see you. Alright, I'll let you read again, Freyja. I was just excited to see you, Rafferty.
That's okay. There once was a witch skilled in the dark arts. She lived a meager but peaceful life alongside the other villagers. But then, a long drought struck the village, which the people blamed on the witch. The witch was sentenced to death, and as the fire blazed around her, smoke rose high into the air. The smoke soon became rain clouds, blessing the village with an end to the drought. Enjoy your rest.
Yes, have a good rest. I hope, just lying down helps you feel even a little better.
Yeah, just hang out and listen. The crops were revitalized, and the villagers fancied themselves heroes. However, the rain also brought madness upon the people. Though the earth below them was lush and fertile, the villagers were losing their minds, and they eventually began to take each other's lives. The witch still lived on, in the form of a curse. Many fell victim to the witch's curse. Though it did not only take, it also fulfilled people's desires. The villagers had gone mad, but their wish for freedom from the drought had been granted. Thus, the legend had been passed down as follows. The witch will grant your wish in exchange for great sacrifice. As smoke in the sky, she watches down upon us from above. To reach the witch, climb for the heavens. But know that road is a road to destruction.
Riri, thank you for the thirsty redeem.
Thank you!
Good to see you. People still believe the witch's legend even now, I suppose. And that's why Nah, you're not that late. We only got started like maybe a few minutes ago?
Yeah, you're all good.
Yeah. Basically, all you missed is the white-haired girl and Michelle are reading together about a witch and her curse. Face accusations of being a witch. This is not an area very welcoming to outsiders, especially one who stands out as much as you. What brought you to this region in the first place? Mine is a story I'm sure you've heard before. I was cast out of my house. I come from a very poor family. We could barely even afford to keep everyone fed. Being as weak as I am, it was only natural that I would be the first to go. I see. What I don't understand, though, is why the witch is said to grant people's wishes. That is to say, she had reason enough to hold a grudge, but not to give people things they asked for. All we have to go on is a few pages. There's no saying what might have been changed or added over time, and it's almost certain the entire legend isn't written here. That said, if we are to accept everything as written, you can infer what the witch's reason might have been. And that is? If you truly want it that much, you can have it, but I'll make certain your suffering outweighs it. Despair that comes after a moment of happiness is far more agonizing than despair alone. I presume that's why the witch decided to grant people's wishes. That is one way to look at it. May I ask you something? Go on. When I first arrived here, you told me that a cursed witch used to live in this mansion. After reading this legend, I'm now finding it hard to believe you made that up simply to scare me away. I appropriated the tale, nothing more. It is said the witch was born in this house. What? Quite the place my family found for me. But it was a clever decision putting me here, I think. Not many people are likely to come near a house with such a pedigree. But...
It was quite smart.
No, never mind. That makes sense.
I suspect I know what she was going to say then. If the witch is said to grant wishes, then wouldn't that also attract people who so desperately want something? They do not care what price they must pay? And perhaps she was correct. Perhaps there had been those who had come to the mansion chasing after the legend. And perhaps they had encountered Michelle, touched him, and lost their lives. On that day in the garden, he had said, "Many things are buried here." Perhaps that included such visitors.
Yeah, the background music here is so pretty and like relaxing.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Romantic.
I wonder if that story might be more than mere superstition. If the Witch of Legend really did exist, what would you do? It might be nice to talk to her, maybe. That's all? Really? I feel a little bad for her, though. The only people who ever visit her are there to ask for something, after all. I can only imagine just how lonely that must be. I swear I cannot comprehend the way your mind works. Sorry. Yes, Fata Morgana's background music is so good.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite soundtracks, like, of all time. Although, if we assume the legend is true, I have an idea what climb for the heavens might mean. Oh? The mansion has an observation tower. Or, I suppose, what used to be an observation tower. At any rate, it is quite a tall structure. This is the house where the witch was supposedly born. A tower reaching for the heavens seems like the perfect place to find her, if she really is here. Oh, yes.
Let's go looking for a witch.
I remember seeing a rather tall structure as I first approached the mansion. Would you like to see it? Of course. Please, lead the way.
No, I took a bite. Hold on.
Foolish Freyja.
Foolish me. The two of them left the library and made their way to the room with the stained glass window. At the far end of that room were the stairs to the observation tower. The tale of the witch had piqued the white-haired girl's interest, inspiring her to put herself forward to satisfy that curiosity. She had, after all, been accused of being a witch herself, so she undoubtedly felt an affinity to the legend. What a sweet girl she was. Witch hunting? Isn't that how the white-haired girl got into this mess? Yup.
I know, right?
Ironic.
Maybe that's part of why she wants to seek her out.
Maybe. She's like, I could relate to this girl.
Let's be friends.
Let's be friends. With Michelle in the lead, the two climbed a long, long spiral staircase. There were many more stairs than the white-haired girl had anticipated, and she soon found herself short of breath. Rectangular windows were carved out of the stone in regular intervals. Peering through one of them, she could see a village in the distance. A pleasantly cool, high-altitude breeze brushed across her face. After much climbing, they finally arrived at the top, where a door made of partially rotted wood stood. Michelle pulled up at the door, revealing a small room with no windows or doors in sight. So much for an observation tower.
This is the top of the tower?
Despite it being called an observation tower, you could hardly observe anything from here. Her face contorted in confusion, the white-haired girl threw her gaze about the room. Glancing up, she saw only a darkened ceiling, and, slightly below it, a single small window through which shone a little ray of light. The beam cleaved through the darkness like the sharpened blade of a beautiful sword. The darkness draped over the rest of the room only served to make more impressive that solitary ray of light. It had a magical fairy tale quality to it. As if being pulled in by it, she drew towards the light.
I suspect there was once a large window in this room. If you look closely, you can see seams in the stone of the wall. The color of the stone differs slightly on either side of the seams. I presume something caused them to seal off the window after it was built, though I don't know what that something might be. Pretty!
Gorgeous! When Michelle's eyes fell upon the white-haired girl wrapped in that beam of light, he spluttered to a stop. The man who never flinched at anything, who had long since distanced himself from such stirrings of the heart, was utterly bewitched. He had never seen her illuminated so vividly before, and he was having a great deal of trouble finding the words to describe her striking beauty. For someone who had been chased out of her home and accused of being a witch, the white-haired girl looked less of a practitioner of the dark arts, and more like one of the host of heaven. So pretty.
So pretty.
So pretty. Michelle undoubtedly felt the same way, for his gaze was affixed firmly upon her.
Dazzling, isn't it?
Yes, you are.
Like a staircase leading to heaven. Yes, perhaps so. Is something the matter? No, I'm fine. You know, it feels like there's something odd in the air here. It feels like someone might actually be listening. It is. I love just how poetic the prose in this can get. It's so pretty. Yeah, Michelle's having a moment. He's like, oh no, she's really pretty. Pretty girl. How talk to. If the witch were to speak to you, what would you say to her? I would ask her to tell me her true feelings, to tell me what kind of person she was, and what kind of pain she had to endure. I just want to know what she felt, this woman people branded a witch. The legend was written from a neutral perspective. It's possible she was a fearsome witch. It's also possible she wasn't. I get the feeling she was just persecuted, like me. Like me and you. Unlike you, I truly am impure. Disagree all you want, but my touch kills. I'm a strange, incomprehensible, irrational creature. Or maybe I'm not even a living being, and that's why when I touch something that is, I bring them death. If only I actually were a witch. If only I actually had some kind of extraordinary power. Regardless of whether it came from God or the devil, then I would be able to grant people's wishes. My wish need not be granted. But it's what I want too. I wish to be able to touch you. I would be perfectly content with nothing changing, with us never being able to touch one another. I would be more than happy with that. But I'm allowed to dream, aren't I? It doesn't have to be in this life. I pray the day will come that we can get closer, even if it has to happen in another life. Oh, you're right, they didn't draw her with the bell on. That's kind of funny.
Her magical girl abilities.
No! Happiness is very much a stranger to me, but am I allowed to dream too?
It is so sweet.
It is. You are. I will never touch you, I swear it. But I would like to dream about it. I would like to imagine placing my hand upon your cheek. You can. Reach your hand out for me. Yeah, it is a very interesting perspective, especially coming from her when we know that we've seen her kind of seem to be reborn across so many different eras.
Yeah.
I will imagine it too. I am imagining your fingers running through my hair, brushing up against my skin. I can feel your warmth. Well,
I'm so upset.
are you feeling things?
I am.
Hang in there, Freyja.
You too, chat. You too, Aqua.
Yes.
There was a wall between them, a wall they could not cross. For if they did, it would mean the white-haired girl's death. No matter how much they yearned for it, they could not touch one another, so they did so within the confines of their imagination. Envisioning it in as much detail as they could manage. It was sad, but sweet. A moment of pristine, untainted beauty. The two of them emanated serenity. As fitting as the word cursed might have been to the mansion as a whole, at the top of the observation tower, a pure bond was being shared. A fleeting moment between a young man with a cursed touch and a kind-hearted, beautiful girl. The dream did not last long, no, for God is quite cruel. They simply wanted to be together, that was all. Their wish was hardly unreasonable. Only a quiet, peaceful life together. But misfortune was creeping ever nearer, its footsteps growing more and more pronounced. Oh, the updated logo too.
Yeah.
We had to check the log.
We do. All right.
Yeah.
Let's check that backlog. Wait, no. Not that. Which button was it? There it is.
Oh. Ooh. Oh. There's so much.
There's a lot.
What?
Hee. Okay. All right. Here we go. Who are you? Well, that's a surprise. You actually have a conscious mind and are aware of who you are? You know nothing. Who are you? Someone you once spent a great deal of time with. I must say, I am impressed you made it back here, my dear. Your soul was ground into dust. It will all come back to you eventually, and then I'll be there with you again, my dear, whispering into your ear for centuries to come, and this time I will not fail. I'll mold your soul into the same shape as mine. What a wonderful little show these puppets are putting on for us, wouldn't you say? Giselle. Indeed, that is Giselle. The white-haired girl standing there is Giselle. We once read a book together. It was by the fireplace. You did not. Those memories are false. Books belong in the library. Why would they be by a fireplace? Curse them, slaughter them, revile them, inflict eternal suffering on all their souls. Take revenge on the fools who laughed as we agonized. All right.
Perfectly spooky.
Yeah, it's definitely implying some stuff. Is someone at the door?
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh, Reggie.
We all know what happens when you open a door.
What happens when you open a door?
Never anything good unless it's your DoorDash deliverer. The flow of time was hazy within the mansion's walls. They had little way of telling whether it was night or day, preventing them from knowing exactly how much time had passed. The white-haired girl had made a habit of climbing the observation tower every so often to see whether the sun was up, which allowed her to approximate the time of day. Consequently, when she heard the knock on the door, she was not aware just how deep the night was outside, that forest and beast alike lay quiet at rest.
Grim at rest.
Grim at rest.
Oh, right. The stories in the cellar are almost exhausted. It must be this month's delivery. Our blue apron.
Our blue apron! It's the only other reason to open the door, too, is
our
blue
Hello
apron.
Fresh.
Not thinking it was worth bothering Michelle over, she made her way out of her chambers and headed for the entrance. There had only been a single knock, leading her to conclude that, as before, the servant had simply left the box outside the door. So without a second thought, she opened the door.
God, I wish HelloFresh was paying me for this. That'd be nice. Hi, Corn.
Corn!
Corn.
And there she saw a strange, vagrant man standing in the moonlight. His clothes were tattered, his bearded face bony and emaciated. She gasped, shrinking back several paces. The heavy door began to swing shut, but the man forced it open, glaring down at her with unfocused eyes and mumbling, "Are ye the witch that'll grant people's wishes?" It was in that moment that the white-haired girl realized she had been careless. The man had sought out the mansion because he believed the legend of the witch. And he did not seem particularly right of mind either. Perhaps the result of wandering through the forest for several days. Or perhaps it was because he was so beaten down that he thought to ask for a witch's help. In a word, he seemed mad.
No. There is no witch here.
Sure there is. Don't you lie to me. I can hear the witch's voice. She led me to this house.
I promise you there isn't. Now please be on your way.
Have you any idea how long it took to find this place? How many days have gone without food or water? And you're telling me to get lost?
I don't know what you want from me. I'm happy to give you a little food, so please.
Is there really no witch?
There's no witch here. It's nothing but a legend. If she does exist, she doesn't live here.
I see. And that means you're just an ordinary person. Just a person. Just a girl. So there ain't a thing you can do.
No! Get away from me! What are you doing?
Oh no! No! Why waste time waiting for you to give me a little grub when I can just take it all? I'm starving here! I'm so hungry I could eat a human!
You're about to commit a grievous sin. Are you not ashamed to act in defiance of God? Oh, no problem, Carrot. Feel free to use that command to kind of check things out if there's any kind of content that you're worried about. I love this story, but it does kind of have everything that could be triggering in it.
Mm-hmm. God. If I believed in God, would I come begging to a witch? I don't fear him, and I sure don't fear people. Who's gonna show up at a house in the middle of nowhere? Who's gonna call me out? Who's gonna stop me? No one, that's who. No one's gonna stop me, and no one's gonna offer me salvation. Ah, there's the thought. You're a woman, so before I kill you...
What are you doing?
What? There are other people here? Oh no! Michelle to the rescue! The white-haired girl lay pinned on the floor beneath the yelling bandit, pleading for help with her ruby eyes. As soon as Michel grasped the situation, he tossed his candlestick aside and leapt for the man. The candlestick gave a sharp clang when it hit the floor. The impact extinguished the flame, bringing the mansion to near-perfect darkness. Something glinted in the bandit's hand, and then, without hesitation, he thrust it at Michel.
Oh, Michel!
How stupid must you be to come at me unarmed? In his hand, the man held a knife, its tip dripping with Michel's blood. Red spilled from the gash in his arm, the flow growing heavier with each passing moment. Oh, hello! Hello, dude! What?
Oh, I guess Riri's your kitten.
You're the only other person here by the looks of it, eh? Perfect. Take you both out.
You...
What?
You don't appear to know whose house you tried to break into.
What are you on about?
Regret your ignorance to your very last breath.
You're messed up in the head, you madman. Oh, thank you, Tyrek. Looks like Mr. Ardbert is getting juice.
Oh boy!
Congratulations.
Say goodbye, Ardbert. Alright, that's something we'll have to do next stream. Oh my god.
You're welcome. Oh, it's almost done. I see.
Oh,
it's
almost.
75%.
Okay.
Whew, I got
It's
messed
close.
up.
He's almost there.
Very close.
So, Carl Lobster, do you see this, like, red drink between me and Freyja? That was Grahatia once.
And then you got juice.
Chat demanded that he'd be juiced, and I set up a goal for it, thinking they wouldn't reach 50k points, and then they did. So I put him in the blender, and now he's here as juice. Yeah, there's your context. and then they wanted to do it to another character, so I let them vote, and they decided that it would be Ardbert next.
No, girl, Hatia.
Ah! Listen, I didn't want to juice him. That's my husband. I didn't want him juiced. But I had to. Oh, thank you for the thirsty redeem, Riri. So yeah.
I wonder if we're gonna reach this tonight. I have no idea.
Oh man. Oh man, Ardbert. Yeah, Emmett was a close second in the poll. It's just putting them in a blender and turning it on until all the pulp is gone. Yeah.
Poor thing.
If you're really curious, I'm pretty sure I have a highlight of when I did it to Graha on Twitch here. So feel free to look at that if you're interested in what the process looks like.
Alright, stay the hell back. Take one more step and...
I like that we stopped to have that aside about juicing in this very dramatic scene.
Very dramatic.
I inherited the witch's curse.
Oh! Let go!
I mean, chat said that he still had pulp and I had to keep juicing him. So that was from them, not me, you know?
Pulp free. Michelle clutched the man's face in one hand. The man raised his knife to strike back, but... What's happening? The strength drained from his fingers, the knife falling to the floor. The man writhed in my Michelle's grip, not Michael.
You're right. I thought you were trying to say mine. I was like, yeah, in your grip, Freyja.
No! My face! My face! I can't breathe!
Leave this place immediately, though you won't get far afflicted with my curse.
This is a great choice of voice acting. Do you have any? I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, I'm glad. Thank goodness.
Helpless to fight back, nay, helpless to even consider fighting back, the bandit fled from the mansion in terror. In his wake, only the white-haired girl and a bleeding Michelle remained.
I just saw a man's life drained from him. His face withering away, sucked completely dry. I didn't doubt him, but, dear God, that was quite disturbing for you, I'm sure. No, not at all. It's my fault anyway, if I hadn't been so careless. Oh, your arm, we need to get that wrapped up. Please do not touch me. You mustn't touch me. The wound is hardly fatal. It's all my fault. I'm so sorry. No, a degree of the blame falls on me for saying nothing. Next time someone comes to the door, let me know. I'm sorry. Please, you don't need to apologize. Well... Yes? For once, I'm actually proud of myself. Proud that I could use this terrible ability of mine to do something more than just take life. To protect someone I care about.
Aww.
So, like I said, please don't apologize. All right, thank you.
He's such a tsundere.
Michelle? I'm glad you're here. I care about you too. Thank you.
Had the flame of Michael's candle not gone out when he threw it to the floor, he would have seen a heartfelt smile on the white-haired girl's face, as she would have seen a flush of red and an awkward smile on Michelle's normally blank face.
Oh God, Carl Lobster, you're watching it. Chat wouldn't let me stop. They said I had to keep blending him.
3-minute juice.
I had to keep going.
I had to watch it right after the stream, clearly.
It was an experience.
Chat is merciless.
Weirdly enough, I feel like it was probably the most viewers I've ever had at once so far. They all really turned out for the garage.
How often do you get to juice a cat boy after all?
No. Hello, Nox.
I know.
You came at a great time.
Yeah. 4-minute juicing.
I didn't want it to be. I was suffering the whole time. I was crying.
Poor Aqua. Legendary. I should go on Prismaria's YouTube channel.
It should. That'd be a good one.
He also might have seen a little glimmer on her cheek, where a few drops of his blood had landed. But alas, they had no light.
Is it backlog time?
Yeah.
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 I'm still learning the Switch controls. Let's see.
Oh, we're safe for now.
Okay, there weren't any for there.
The collapse of their happiness came slowly, gradually.
Oh, Hien's good. I like Hien. Yes, that's Riri's husband. Good choice. Unlike Freyja, who likes Thancred.
Huh? What are you talking about? Me?
You remember when we were playing and he showed up and you were shaking?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I also love Thancred. He's just so bullyable.
Yeah. This man.
Oh my god, your BF cosplays him. That's so funny. Like
That's so
That's
perfect.
cool though. Hian is great. So good taste.
You're not juicing Thancred.
Thancred's gonna be on the next juice poll.
Mm-mm. You can skip to the next one.
Oh, I got so caught up in juicing in my mind. Yeah, he's a ripe 32, ready for juicing.
No, my baby.
He's 32!
My baby.
Read the video game.
Perhaps it was because she had touched his blood instead of his skin. But the deterioration of the white-haired girl's health crept along at a relaxed pace.
Yeah, if we do choose Thancred, I'm gonna make Freyja come on stream.
Oh, I'll cry. Well, okay. The life was not sucked out of her in the blink of an eye, as it had been from the bandit. She merely grew progressively less and less healthy. Amidst her physical decay, she was bestowed with one blessing. Her beauty remained untouched. But as far as blessings went, surely there were others she could have been granted. Could God have not picked something a little better for her? By the time the two of them realized what was happening, it was already too late. The white-haired girl had grown so weak she could hardly leave her bed.
Yes. Oh, you are there. I am. Thank goodness. I can't see very well anymore.
Oh no!
How could this happen? I thought I'd saved you, but no, I did the exact opposite. Please, don't talk that way. You did save me that day. But you're on the cusp of death now, and it's my fault. Because of this curse I bear. How? How could this happen? Why did this have to happen? What am I? Why was I given this body? Michelle. Can I, ask you a favor? Go ahead. Stay with me, please. As much as you can. Until the very end. I was going to do as much anyway. Thank you. I'm happy, Michelle. Happier than I have ever been. And I mean that. You didn't just save my life. You saved me. I've been saved. But only me. I wonder how he'll handle things when I'm gone. If only I hadn't opened the door that day. I wouldn't be leaving him all alone. And we could be happy together for even longer. Yes. Would you please hold my hand? I think it's probably safe now. I will not. I cannot touch you. If I do, I might take what remains of your life. Take your beauty away and force you to die hideous. I cannot touch you. Well, oh. It hurts. Oh, I forgot that was there.
Right? Check the log.
Okay.
What is she saying?
I high-key need a hug. Everybody in chat, we're group hugging now. Oh boy.
Group log.
Oh, we
no.
definitely have some stuff. Okay. Let me double check where it starts. Okay. Just at the end.
Spooky.
Spooky. Dark. Dark, dark. It's dark. How long has it been dark here? How long have I been in the darkness? It's so cold here. Freezing. Where? Where could she have gone? Where could she... Giselle, yes. Her smile shines so bright it can cast away the darkness. I must take her hand. She's been calling for me for so long. Take her hand. But I'm cursed. That would kill her. No. No, no, no. This is all a lie.
Ah, that was really good. Huh? Found her. It her.
I'm trying not to scream right now, Rafferty. I've just seen that. I was like, ah!
On his way back from the washroom several days later, Michelle heard muffled voices. He got it? Oh. Good. He was having trouble making out what they were saying, but he could tell it was several men, and they were outside the front door. The fact that he could hear them at all through the heavy door meant they were probably shouting quite loudly. An indescribable sense of uneasiness came over him. Dread. He drew nearer to the door and focused on the voices on the other side. They grew clearer, enough for him to make out what the men were saying. Everything's in place. We're ready to kill this witch now.
No!
No! This is definitely the place. That half-dead bandit said she was in this mansion.
Listen well. No matter what we find in there, we kill it. It could be a child for all I care. That doesn't change anything.
Kill the witch. Kill the witch! Kill the witch! Kill the witch! What he heard beyond the door was a group of men shouting for the death of the witch. In that moment, Michelle regretted his decision to let the bandit go free and not watch over him until the moment of his demise. He must have made his way down to the village in search of help, where he revealed what he had found at the mansion.
Damn it!
But it was too late. Regret would solve nothing. He could neither stop the villagers from raiding the house, nor could he stop the white-haired girl from dying to the effects of his curse. He was helpless to do anything. The gears of his fate had locked him onto a path of tragedy and were turning mercilessly onward. The men had begun trying to break down the door with what sounded like a battering ram. While the first strike was not enough to breach the barrier, it was still quite powerful. He was certain it would not hold for long. Michelle's mind raced. Was there anything he could do about this predicament? How could he escape from the corner he had been backed into? Despite his possessing inhuman powers, he would be powerless against a full mob of adult men. The villagers almost certainly came armed as well.
Michelle.
A weak voice came from behind him. Aghast, he spun around to find the white-haired girl stumbling toward him. She breathed heavily, leaning against the columns for support.
What are you doing out here? You'll only worsen your condition by exerting yourself. I had a sinking feeling, and I heard noises on my way here. It seems that I have brought all my misfortune upon you. Don't say that! If I hadn't come here, this never would have happened. You never would have been in any danger. Please, Michelle, hand me over to the men outside. Absolutely not! I will do no such thing. They're here for the witch, aren't they? I'm guessing they're the same people who were chasing me before. The village had a poor harvest this year, I hear. Like the village in the legend. And they believe it's the witch's curse. But you're not a witch! They need someone to fill the role, though. So please, Hand me over, and then escape on your own. I could never. Please, Michelle. I'm the one who's cursed, not you. And you want me to hand you over? What would I have left then? Nothing. Not a thing. I would have nothing. After so long, I finally found someone who isn't afraid of me, who won't run. I have no interest in a world that would take you away from me, make me live alone once more. To hell with such a world. Michelle. Would you be willing to die with me? If that's what you wish, then stay with me until the very end.
I'm so upset.
I probably wanted to hear that just as much as him. No, not probably. I did. I wanted to have someone at my side as much as him. It's so lonely not having anyone. To live alone, to die alone. To not have anyone watching over you. For no one to even know you're dead. I simply wanted someone to tell me they're here for me. To be there, to hold my hand. How wonderful that would be. The sense of utter relief it would bring would be enough to cast away all the pain, to allow me to accept all our suffering. So please, tell me you'll...
Michelle and the white-haired girl chose to spend their final moments at the top of the observation tower.
I might just check the backlog real quick to make sure. I think we're good, though. Yeah.
Oh, always good to check, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They could hear the crash of the battering ram against the door, the shouts of the men, and their stomping feet. But despite all that, the ray of light shining through the little window was as beautiful as always. The room's air of serenity remained unimpeached. And the long climb to the top, the white-haired girl... Nope, after the long-haired climb to the top. Long-haired... After the long climb to the top, the white-haired girl was terribly out of breath.
Yes, the BGM, like, the files are probably higher quality in the console version, but it's the same songs.
Michelle considered several times offering her his hand, with the possibility that doing so might rob her of her last scraps of life stayed his hand.
It sounds like they broke down the door. I'm glad we made it up here when we did. I'm so sorry for asking this of you. Don't be. I would have chosen here for my final moments as well. This is the one place in this mansion with any sunlight. The one place I can get a good look at you. Thank you. I'm truly glad that I was able to end up here. That I was able to meet you. And more than anything, that you said you cared about me. Have I managed to become an essential part of your life? Do you even need to ask? I wouldn't be here otherwise. I feel the same way as you. I'm sure of it. The two of us are more similar than you probably care to admit. Can I ask you one more thing? Go on. Would you embrace me? If this is to be the end, if this is to be my last chance, then I don't want it to end without having been able to touch you. Please, don't refuse me this, Michelle. Just do it, please. I won't keep you waiting long. Thank you. The truth is, I always wanted this. I dreamed of being able to hold you, I dreamed of it too. Thank you. I'm so very...
I'm not crying, you're crying!
Oh. She's still so beautiful. What a cruel joke. Could you not have given us some other miracle? One that would allow us both to survive.
Where are you? Where'd you get off to? I can't find her, damn it!
Hey, there's some stairs over here. They lead up.
Beneath this single ray of light, a white-haired girl lay completely still. Not even a frail sigh escaped her closed lips. She remained as gorgeous as ever. It was as though she had simply sleeping. Looking down upon her, Michelle determined to do one thing.
I will not allow anyone to sully this sight.
He gave a fleeting glance back at her pristine corpse, then opened the door and stepped through it alone. He would protect that room where she lay. Hey! There's someone up there!
So this is where you've been hiding, you infernal witch!
Wait, that's not the girl! The raucous sound of their footsteps rang out from below. Shortly thereafter, the men themselves came into view. As he had expected, they were heavily armed. He glowered at the men, then sucked in a deep breath and shouted at the top of his lungs.
I am the witch you seek! I have inherited her curse, and it is I who brings calamity upon you.
You hear that?
But he's a...
Man or woman, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I love Hotarubi no Morie. That made me cry so bad.
It broke me.
Oh.
Death to anyone who has ties to the witch. Cleanses earth of all impurity.
Kill him! Kill him! Kill him!
Michelle did not flinch at the sight of the men. He stood unyielding between them and the door. He did not flinch when they raised their weapons against him, nor when they pierced his body.
Hey, nah, we're crying.
Yeah, we're all crying. Oh, no! It hurts. Die, take your curse with you.
I have no need for this life any longer. It's all yours. I am cursed to kill even that which I wish to protect. But at the very least, I can protect one thing before my life is done. Not even one of you will leave this place. Wither and die by my curse.
The blood spilling from his skewered body flowed down the stairs, down and down like a little river, soaking the feet of every single man who had stormed the mansion. This was the last thing he saw before the final grains of life slipped between his fingers, which brought a faint smile to his lips.
Let's check the backlog real quick.
Yeah,
I don't think there was anything during that scene, but I want to make sure.
Yeah. No, it's okay. You know how anime characters can cough up blood and be fine? Michelle will be fine. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he'll be fine.
It's fine.
He's not dead. He's fine. Neither of them had expected what happened next, though, for God has a most twisted sense of humor.
Oh, Thirsty Redeem. Thank you, Riri.
You. The white-haired girl had not miraculously passed away without being robbed of her beauty.
Why am I still alive?
She had, rather, not passed away at all. Quite cruel of him, was it not?
Michelle? Where have you gone, Michelle? Michelle. I smell blood.
This is some like Romeo and Juliet ass shit. Just barely missing each other. For had he allowed her to die, she would not have been made to witness the scene that awaited her.
No. No.
And I'm sure you know just what it was she laid eyes upon in that moment. The ravaged corpse of her beloved. A torrent of blood streaming down the spiral staircase. And the sickening stench it raised.
No. Why?
And his was not the only body. The villagers who had assaulted the mansion had been subject to his curse. The life drained from their withered shells.
Why did this? Michelle, why? Why am I the only one still alive?
That is a question I cannot answer either. Perhaps his curse did not affect those he loved, as terribly cruel as that might be. I cannot say.
Why? You said we would go together. A world without you has no meaning.
Had she actually expended her life there in the room at the top of the tower, perhaps this tale could have had a happy ending.
Yeah, I'm preparing my Oscar acceptance speech right now.
Good, you should be.
Move over, James Corbin. I don't know who's gonna be going for Oscars this year. I haven't watched movies.
But it's mine now.
I just know he was a mouse in that one Cinderella, and he stopped traffic, and it was kind of obnoxious.
Yep.
So if I can take it from him, I'm happy.
Yes. She would have at least been able to have the man she loved at her side until her very last moments upon this earth. But that was not what had transpired. She had survived, been left utterly alone. I felt a profound pity for the miserable girl, so I called out to her.
Freyja, this is you.
Me?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is he? Would you like to see him once more?
What?
I have the power to help you meet him again.
Who's there? Where are you?
You know what they call this mansion. So who do you suppose remains on these grounds?
No way. You're from the legend. You actually exist.
Now, I asked you a simple question. Would you like to see him again?
The witch grants people's wishes, but at a price. I said I wouldn't ask for her assistance if I met her. But that's all changed. Now that I've lost him, if it's truly possible, then yes, I want to see him. Bring him back to life.
Regrettably, I cannot directly meddle with the forces of life and death. However, I can guarantee you this.
I'm trying not to lose it over the mental picture chat's painting right now. Riri and Nox are just quite a team here.
Your reconstruction.
Reconstruction?
Correct. To ensure that you remain as yourself in future lives, and are not reborn as someone else, your body and mind shall be reconstructed. As shall his. If you sincerely wish to reunite with one another, If you genuinely need each other in your lives, you will eventually meet again. All I can promise you is eternal reconstruction. What you make of it is up to you. You want to see him again, don't you? You want to hear his voice again, don't you? You want to feel his hand on your cheek once more, don't you? If that's what you want, then you must remain who you are. If you are simply reborn, that wouldn't be you. So there wouldn't be any point, would there?
Me as I am, and he as he is.
Make up your mind quickly. I will not wait long.
I want to see him again.
As you wish, sweet little girl. I shall grant you both eternal reconstruction, and pray with all my heart that you can attain true happiness. Shortly thereafter, the white-haired girl took her own life. She decided she had nothing to gain by remaining in the present time, and that in order to reunite with Michelle, she needed to make her way to her next life. And thus, the mansion was left bereft of a master to travel slowly through the ages until someone came along to give it life once more.
One more backlog check.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see, did anything change there? I don't think so.
Ooh.
Nope. All right.
But an unfathomable amount of time had passed, and the two have yet still to reunite. Have they, Master? You know now who you are, do you not? You remember everything now, do you not? You were present in every single era, the reason for which is as I described in the previous tale. Because you yearn to be reunited with someone. But that person never showed up in any era. And poor, sweet you, having no memory of any of that, lived those lives with other men. Is it any surprise misfortune befell those eras then?
The door swung closed. But rather than outside, you and the maid were inside the dull, monochrome room at the top of the observation tower. The awe-inspiring ray of light shone not through the lone window high upon the stone wall. Wrapped in a curious, impenetrable darkness, you both stood alone in the room. The maid wore a gentle, but brittlely cold smile as she looked straight at you.
It is not your fault misfortune befell you. The only force to blame for that is fate. You were always so kind, so pure of heart. You had boundless trust for others and the goodness of people. You were the very image of all that is right. Hold on one second.
Oh, all right. Chat, how are you feeling? Riri says she called it. Good job, Riri. Oh man. That door is quite a doozy, isn't it? I was pretty stunned the first time I finished it.
Yeah, me too. You're barking at your screen? Me too.
Me too. Y'all can't hear it, but like spiritually I'm barking.
Run.
Wop, wop, wop.
Bark.
Bark, bark.
There is no greater misfortune when someone as pure and beautiful as you. Be mercilessly thrown into the grinding gears of tragedy again and again.
Have a good lurk, Nox.
Enjoy lurk. I still pity you for everything you had to go through. You poor, poor soul. You must be utterly exhausted. Constantly betrayed. The man who you were waiting for. Nope, yep, never appearing. After so long, your spirit worn down to the bone, you lost any and all awareness of who you even were. Who were you hoping to find wandering into this illusory mansion, cut off from the real world? You and I are the only ones here. The man you seek is nowhere to be found. Have you still not figured it out? Then allow me to tell you everything. I am the cursed witch, Morgana, who haunts this mansion. And you are the tragic plaything of fate, the white-haired girl named Giselle. Did my calling you master confuse you? If so, then I apologize. My habit of calling the master, or mistress, of the house master is quite deeply ingrained. And yes, that means precisely what you think it does. That I have accepted you as my new master. That I wish for you to remain here, to stay with me. So let us put an end to this journey. Do not worry, there is nothing to fear. We are simply going to step outside the river of time. Nothing unpleasant will happen to you ever again. I will be here with you for all of eternity, and I will give you my utmost care. You will not have to wait for anyone. Forget about him, the man you once sought. And I am sure you shall find happiness. Please, do it for me. I have been waiting for you for so very long. I have wanted nothing more than to see you again. You were continually stolen away from me. Despite my sincerest desires to spend my days with you. Which is why I wanted you to recall everything. For surely you would not willingly repeat the same fate, if you knew of all the pain it has caused you to suffer thus far. Spend eternity with me, in the gentle embrace of darkness.
The maid extended her hand for you. Her fingers, brushing up against yours, were as cold as ever. But her breath tickled your skin pleasantly, and her sweet words rang in your ears, filling you with warmth. You thought back on your time with her in the mansion. She had, indeed, always treated you with great compassion, and nothing she had said seemed to be a lie. And so you pondered. What were you to do? Well, first, we're gonna save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, chat. It's decision time!
Here, maybe I'll run a little poll.
Yeah, good idea.
1 second.
These yandere vibes, though. I'm here for them.
Right. Oh, I did not want that to be that long a poll. This is gonna be a quick little thing. Alright. The poll should be up. Feel free to refresh if you don't see it. Let's see. I'm seeing lots of more to be done.
It's always interesting to see how love can change a person's choice. Yeah, I agree. One for accept, that's interesting. Oh, two for accept.
Ooh. 5 for more to be done. Nobody wants to reject it. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I tried to, like, do a little widget to, like, see the poll on screen while I'm running it, but I could not get it to work. I'm really upset about that.
Sad.
More is the gamer's choice. Try- Carl Lobster and Uravity, get it.
Yeah.
Alright.
More it is.
More in first, accept in second, reject in third. So, this is gonna make it a little bit obvious what the, like, correct choice is here, but we're actually gonna go with the second place option first.
Ooh.
She was absolutely right. You had seen an excess of tragedy. You had borne witness to far too much pain, and your spirit was deeply wounded by it. You could not possibly endure any further tragedy. And so, if she was offering you relief from all that, perhaps you should accept it. She had guided you this far, never letting go of your hand. Yeah, I was mostly gonna see whether we accept it or reject it first. No matter what. And it was her presence that had allowed you to bear the bleak, disheartening, and wretched tales you saw. No, I didn't mean to do that. Switch! Switch!
Please.
Oh god, I accidentally knocked the little joysticks and suddenly we're doing all this stuff. If she said she wanted to be with you, then surely you were allowed to want the same.
Grasp my hand, Master. Come, hold it tight.
You gently wrapped your fingers around the maid's cold hand. Never again to let go. Never again to remember. Never again to look back upon the past you might have had. The rare, treasured days of happiness, or the bitter days filled with nothing but pain. Or the person you were supposed to find. But you were fine with that. There was no one to criticize you for averting your eyes from your pain and seizing the opportunity for happiness lying before you. You made the correct choice. Yay!
Yay! We won the game! What was all that about?
Oh man, yeah, muscle memory between different types of controllers is the worst.
Mm-hmm. Master. Master. Oh, thank goodness. You've awoken. I was getting worried there for a moment. What kind of herbal tea would you like to start your day with? I have some wonderful chamomile leaves if you would like. Or perhaps your tastes have changed since we last met. Tell me, Master. I beg your pardon. I allowed myself to get too excited. But we get to be together forever after all. Free of the flow of time, nothing to endanger us or our lives. Just peace and serenity for the two of us. I will serve you forever and ever. Does that not sound wonderful, Master?
It does.
It does!
Wow! Best end get.
Yeah, we did it!
Woo!
Wow!
Woohoo!
Ooh, Prisoner of Illusion.
Wow. What a good game. We're done forever now.
On to the next.
Alright. Let's go back to the title
Mhm.
and inspect our memories. Alright. This time, since it was last place, we'll reject her proposition. You could not accept the maid's offer. If what she said was true, you could not give up on your search. You had spent years and years waiting to reunite with someone. Your previous attempts may have been rife with mistakes, but you could not stop trying.
Come, Master. Spend eternity with me in the mansion. We will have the most wonderful time together.
The sweet tone of her voice, her cold fingers, her icy smile. These were all terrifying now. You had to escape. Had to break out of this darkness, make it outside.
Master? What is the...
You brushed the maid's hand aside. As her eyes widened, aghast, You fled it from the observation tower. Down and down the spiral staircase you went, though not a whisper of a footstep could be heard in the stone tower. The stairs seemed to go on forever. Down and down and down and down. At long last, you arrived at the bottom, dashing from the next room without a passing glance at the angel in the stained glass window. The maid had shown you around the mansion, so you knew its layout. Or perhaps you were familiar with it even before arriving here. A large door came into view. The exit was up ahead.
Master.
But the next moment her voice seized you from behind. You turned back and there stood the maid, wearing the same smile.
Where do you think you were going, Master? I told you, you mustn't let go of my hand. This mansion is quite large. You could get lost if you go walking around unaccompanied. Now come, let us head back. And please do not let go of my hand.
It was the same smile she always wore. The exact same. But right now, it seemed inexplicably ghoulish. The chill that ran down your spine was not from the lack of heat, but utter terror.
Come, let us head somewhere else.
You had to get out of here.
Oh, I know. We can put some more kindling in the fireplace and start a fire. The sweet firelight and gentle warmth will have you feeling wonderful in no time.
You had to get out of here.
You must be quite disoriented. The impact of regaining your memories has you terrified. Am I correct?
You had to get away. You had to escape. You had to get out of here.
Do not worry. I will always take care of you. Keep you safe from everything that escapes you. I will be here with you, forever.
You clawed at the door. It was not barred, so it should open. Nevertheless, it remained firmly in place.
Now, you mustn't play around like that. Danger lurks around every corner outside. Fog blocking your sight, sinkholes in the road, a thick forest all around, beasts creeping about in the night. How could I possibly allow weak little you to go out into that? Now come back to my side, please. You have no need to be here.
The maid drew toward you. She reached out her hand. Her whole body seemed to be trying to encase you in ice. She wanted to keep you chained here in the darkness.
Do not worry. There is nothing to be afraid of.
You had to get out of this place. You had to break free. From this house of darkness, from this doting maid, and from the maelstrom of tragedy. You had to remain firm, unyielding in that desire. Your desire to go outside. Your wish to be set free. You could not compromise or relent. Your thirst for escape had to be stronger than the maid's intent to keep you here. If it was, the door would surely open.
Master!
You dashed out into the light. There was nothing blocking your escape outside. No fog, no forest, no sinkholes, and no beasts in sight. The light was so bright it almost hurt your eyes. It was a world exactly opposite the darkness within the house.
Master! Please wait! You mustn't go out there! Come back! Quickly!
You could hear the maid's voice, but you kept running through the light as far as you could go. Wherever you arrived, you were sure that was where you were meant to be. Once, though, just once, you looked back over your shoulder. It was blurry in the bright light, but you could see the mansion there. It wavered like a mirage, as though it could disappear at any second, the maid standing in the open door. She was desperately reaching her hands out for you, but you were far out of reach. It seemed she could not leave the house. Perhaps you felt a pain of pity for her, but you were not sure. And when you could no longer hear the maids shouting for you, Your consciousness snapped off. You fell not into darkness, but light.
Oopsie.
No, I think that's good. Light good.
Light good? I guess, oh! What is this? I haven't seen this before. I know what this leads into, but I haven't seen this before.
Was this your first time seeing this ending?
It is.
Huh? What was I doing again? Oh, that's right. I was on my way to school. Now, what was I doing dozing off in the middle of the road? I'm not sure. I feel kind of in a daze. Like I just woke up from a terrible nightmare. In the middle of the day? In the middle of the road? Nothing like that's ever happened before. Has it? Something doesn't add up. I can't remember what I was doing. It's like there's a big gap in my memory. What was I doing? Who was I looking for? Need to stay focused. I have to get going or I'll be late. I know this place all too well. It's the same route I take to school every day. There's a vendor along the way that always waves good morning to me. Always? The same route? I know this place? Yes, I know this place. I see it every day. Every day. Nothing changes. It's always the same. My perfectly normal, ordinary, everyday life. A gentle breeze brushes against my cheeks. My hair flutters as my gaze slides upward. I'm looking at a tall, handsome man with blonde hair and a somewhat despondent demeanor. I think I know this man. As soon as I see him, I feel like someone stuck their hand in my chest and is squeezing my heart. It's hard to breathe, and the overwhelming sense of familiarity has me on the verge of tears. Elation jolts through all of my extremities. I know. This is the person I've been searching for. Excuse me. Excuse me. I have to get him to turn back. I have to look him in the eyes. I have to talk to him. We have to be reunited. I don't know his name, and he probably doesn't know mine, but still. This is fate, so... Back to the mansion. What? I must go back to the mansion. Hold on. There's, something I need to tell you. How could I have made that mistake? It was the worst possible decision. I have to make things right. I have to take her hand. I have to make her smile for me. If I can't do that, what am I even alive for? What did I even return from the everlasting darkness for? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. What are you talking about? This time I'll do it. Can you hear me? Why won't he look me in the eyes? And if it's not possible in this life... Stop! Please listen to me! Why does he keep moving forward? Then I'll just have to place my hope in the next one. Wait! Red light! I beg your forgiveness. I made the worst possible decision, though I will not make the same mistake twice. No matter what form you may assume, I will not err again. I promise I shall come back for you. Giselle!
Hey, someone call an ambulance. Someone's been hit by a car.
What?
What? Yeah, me too.
Hey, what'd you think of that ending, Freyja?
Oh my goodness!
That's a really interesting one.
It is! Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
That's so sad. Oh no.
Yeah, Chet, how'd that one make you feel? I can guess Carrot's really going through it. Oh, that was the wrong. You okay, Carrot? You alright?
Should we tell them about the third game?
I say let's hang on for now.
Okay.
There is still more to be done.
Yes, there is.
Something seemed off. Not only with the story she had just told, with her, and with you, yourself, assuming everything she had said was the truth. Which or not, my mind is made up. Which will strike you first, I wonder? Regret or the curse? You seem to be doing just fine. It's only a tale. The witch is real, very much so. It's not a legend nor a fairy tale. The witch is me.
Yeah, what happened to that? Huh?
That's right. It wasn't the white-haired girl who had claimed to be the witch. And that wasn't all.
Or do you mean to reclaim your old self no matter the cost? If you do, if you're sincerely prepared to do that, then be wary of the tale that comes next. Any tragedy that seems too beautiful to be real is precisely that, a fabrication.
None of your questions had been answered. You still didn't know who the painting was, or what had taken place so long ago that caused the mansion to summon people to it. You didn't even know who you were, for that matter. There was still more to be done. You had to find the truth. You needed to find someone. That much was certain. But was the story the maid had told correct about whom? And if it was... What about her? What about the woman whose name you couldn't say? The woman who had so cheerfully called you master?
We agreed that we would live together, not just in the same house, so we've got plenty of time to add more to the list. And I hope you can make your own list about me, too. This is just the beginning, after all. We've got a long, long time ahead of us. Plenty enough to get to know each other, no?
Y'all, I'm gonna actually start crying doing this.
Me too!
You must say her name. You must take her hand. You must make her smile once again. You mustn't reclaim your old self. It's dark. Dark. It's dark. It's dark again. It's dark. 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 Constantly. Constantly engulfed in darkness. You threw it away every single time. I must break out of this darkness. I'll give you a world that's not cruel to you. I must escape and take her hand. Because that's the reason. Oh, I've got a wonderful idea. I came here. You can curse them with me. I must return. I must reclaim. We can think of new ways to torture them. We'll all be happier if you stay here. Just think about it. Stay here in this world. You'll be right at home. No, I did the best I could for you. Nothing more. This is not where I belong. No matter how much a world of darkness may suit me, you'll never be able to do it. I must reclaim my true self. This is a ride to read.
It is.
This is brilliant. Do you have any idea how terrible a decision that is? Do you have any idea why I fabricated that story? It was all for you. So stay here. Stay right where you are. The darkness suits you better. Remember what someone told you not long ago? That you could handle the stories because they weren't your own. That you were able to bear the tragedies because they happened to others. That if it had been your suffering, if the secrets you had kept buried away for so long had come out, you couldn't possibly have endured it. But you're a sharp one. I'm sure you intend to keep those secrets tucked away forever. Do you really think I'm going to let you do that, though? Whatever you try to hide, I'll make sure your beloved hears every last detail. How foolish can you be? Despite all my encouragement, you still insist on getting your old self back? What do you have to gain from that? Nothing but filthy, ugly tragedy awaits you down this path. Don't get your hopes up, my dear. There's nothing for you there. You have nothing. I'm offering you a place by my side. You should just take it. There is no salvation for you anywhere. None at all. Anywhere. From anyone. Ever. She has long since lost all grip on reality. And you think there's anything you can do for her now? Despite having repeatedly failed to even regain yourself? Well, I suppose if you're going to be stubborn, as much as I don't want to, I have to place a curse on your soul. That's right. The white-haired girl was never at the mansion. Riri, thank you for the thirsty redeem. There is still a story left untold.
What?
The fourth door was all a lie.
What do you mean?
It was not some sweet little tragedy. The story you told was pure fantasy.
No, that was the truth. That was where it all began. Because of what happened then, you spent innumerable years lost, until you showed up here and... What?
You reach out, grasping for it. You pull yourself in. Your silhouette, which has been hazy until now, begins to take form. Your mind, your consciousness, your heart, your soul, and your body.
Who are you?
The veil in your mind dissipates. A crack forms in the shell encasing you, then another. The invisible shackles chaining your spirit fall to the floor. Reality fades in atop the indistinct, foggy world around you. Bony fingers appear before your eyes. Long hair. Your voice. No. My voice. My body. My fingers. My arms are frail and my joints weak. But despite my resemblance to the white-haired girl, I am not her. This is who I am. I have finally reclaimed myself. You weren't waiting for the white-haired girl. You were waiting for me. And that's exactly why I came here.
But... I have no idea what you were talking about. I have always waited for the white-haired...
There was never a white-haired girl. There was only... This time. This time I must say her name. She is... Giselle. There was only you.
I am... Giselle? No. No, I'm not Giselle. I am a servant of the house. And I am the witch, the cause...
You are not a witch. The witch is someone else. Why do you insist that you're the witch? What changed you so much? I felt the exact same way at this point, Riri. The shadowy figure in the master bedroom, that was her. A glimpse into her past. I'm sure this is Giselle, but why is she so different? What happened to the spark she used to have? Where did the light she once shone upon the world go? I have to remember. I must remember. This cannot end until I have. This is no longer a story. No, what I need to face is my past. And her heart. She was not even present in the story she made up. Everything about it had been changed. The past I lived and the wounds she bore were more grounded in harsh reality, not wrapped in a film of fairy tale magic.
That was the final tale, and it was all true. That's how it happened. It was a bittersweet story.
No. How can you not see this? Yes, it was a beautiful tragedy. But was there even a scrap of humanity in it? Behind the 3 preceding doors, there had been a constant thread of ugliness and conflicting motivations. But there was hardly a trace of that behind the 4th door. The characters felt like nothing more than characters. Is that what you want to turn it into? Is that what you want our history to become?
Our history? But I don't remember anything at all.
You don't remember anything.
No, I don't want to. I don't need a past or a future. All I have left inside me is uncertainty.
Giselle.
No. That is not my name. Please stop trying to confuse me. I'm fine with things the way they are. If it means I do not have to hurt, that's all I want. So please, just let me keep being the maid. Let me keep being a guide, not some foolish girl.
Is that what she honestly desires? Does she want to cast aside her past for good? If so, then... Alright.
I wipe a tear.
Me too. Let's make a save. Then since there aren't more than 2 options, we'll go for the obviously wrong one first. I can't force her to do something she doesn't want to. If she doesn't reclaim herself on her own, I'll never get to hear her say my name again. But if she wants to leave all that behind her, then it's not my place to interfere. I've done things that would warrant her wanting to rewrite her past, erasing me entirely. But I think, more than anything, I'm afraid of hurting her, of breaking her any more than she already is. No, mine is a more cowardly fear. I'm just afraid she'll no longer take my hand. All right, then, what should have been behind the door was our life together. But for her, there's nothing but misery there anymore. In our time together, and in me. Forget everything I've said. The tale within the 4th door was the whole truth. I can live with that. I would just ask you to allow me one thing. To remain by your side.
Of course you may. I was the one who asked you to forget about everything and live in eternal darkness with me. What a silly question. Did you think I would ever say no?
Right. You did, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Worry not. I will banish the memory. I am sure you are simply disoriented at having learned who you are. There is nothing to fear. Only happiness awaits you. I am getting excited now. What should we do first? Oh, I know. We should throw a party in commemoration of your decision to remain here with me. I shall prepare the most wonderful feast, my sweet girl. So you forget all about him, alright?
If that is what you desire, I will never be anyone ever again. Oh, you're not the brightest, are you, my dear? You knew this is what would happen if you took this road. You would have been happier going down it without reclaiming yourself at all. Ah, this is absolutely brilliant. A weight has been lifted off my shoulders. My centuries-long wish has finally been realized. The one thing I didn't expect was for you to recover yourself. But it all turned out the same in the end. You know what? Sure. I'll stay out of your way. And I'll pray for you both to be happy.
Master. Master. Oh, thank goodness. You've awoken. I was getting worried there for a moment. What kind of herbal tea would you like to start your day with? I have some wonderful chamomile leaves if you would like. Or perhaps your tastes have changed since the last we met. Tell me, Master.
No, that will do.
As you wish. Say, Master, can I hope for you to compliment my tea again? To say it is the best you have ever had? Master?
Oh, yes. I'm sure I will have something nice to say about it.
You were never one to withhold your praise, Master. Such a gentle-mannered, kind-hearted girl.
Have I ever praised her tea before? I do recall telling her, when I saw her gathering strange weeds from the garden for her herbal tea, that doing so at this house, given its reputation, only made her look like a real witch. And how did she react to that? I think she puffed her cheeks and frowned, and then... I can't remember. She thinks I'm the white-haired girl, yet she calls me Master, completely oblivious to how absurd that sounds. But she won't say my name. Eventually, I'll probably forget it too. My name, who I am, everything that's happened to us. Washed away by the darkness, never to be found again. She's smiling. I know it's not real, but I honestly don't care anymore. All that matters is that she's smiling.
Oof.
That one hurts.
It hurts a lot.
That hurts bad, guys.
It feels like the worst ending.
Oh. Oh my gosh. That shit hurted, yo.
Yeah. Especially when he's like, I feel like that's the worst. Where he was like, I've done something so unforgivable to her that she just doesn't want to remember it at all.
Oh my god, I know. Alright, guys. Not remembering isn't an option.
That's right.
No matter what she says, I know I'm right. And if she doesn't reclaim her old self, I'll never get to hear her say my name again. I know I'm being selfish here, but I can't do that. If you're afraid of what you might find, we can remember together. If I haven't gotten everything back myself yet. So let's open the real door, together.
There are no other doors to open.
But there is. One that can only open by our hands because it exists between the two of us. Not a door with physical form, but the door to your heart.
Kingdom Hearts? Sorry. The door to...
I grasp her unnaturally cold hand, a hand that long ago once held warmth. If she can't lead the way, then I have to. I must pick up the pieces of our erased history so we can both reclaim ourselves. Find the actual truth. No matter what we may uncover, I will not let go of this hand. No, I mustn't let go of it. Darkness falls over the world around us. The floor upon which we had been standing flickers out of existence, sending us dropping into an endless abyss. This dark pit, this is her door, her history, her heart. Let's try this one more time. It's not a sweet story by any means. It's a story of betrayal, anger, hatred. We caused each other pain. But that's the road we traveled. And down that road lies all the answers.
I wonder if we should end this here. I don't know. I don't want to end it.
I know, I'm like, oh. Should we go a little ways in and then find like a good stopping point?
Okay, sure, let's do that.
Okay. It's so hard to stop. Okay.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, no.
I know. I'm like, this would be a good ending point, but I want to see even just a little bit.
A little bit, let's do it.
Let's do it.
This is me, right?
Yes.
It had been several days since I left the capital, and I could still see it when I closed my eyes. The people lined up on the Grand Pont, awaiting entry, eager to start a new life there, brimming with hope. It was a city where people were. It was a city people were willing to pay high taxes to live in. If you were a performer, you could get some of those costs shaved down a bit by putting those skills to use. I can read real words. The capital was harsh on those who wanted in, and apathetic about all who left. It was composed of a powerful nobility and clergy, wealthy merchants and bankers, and a large population of poor. And it was a city I had called home for a long time. I didn't know much about where I was heading. It's getting foggy. Looks like it might rain. Maybe we should take a little break. You want to keep going? Oh, alright then. The coachman was frustratingly taciturn. He acted as though he had gotten stuck transporting a prisoner. But that was hardly a stretch. From his point of view, I was nothing more than a criminal. Even the times he would acknowledge I had said anything, he made no effort to hide the scorn in his eyes, to pretend he didn't regret ever taking this job. And I would just fall silent again. The road was gradually getting narrower. We had long since left the paved city roads behind, and were now traveling along a couple worn-down grooves in the forest. How did I end up here? Why was I being subjected to this? I was done thinking about it. The more I thought on it, the less fair it seemed. The more I remembered, the worse it hurt. All I could do anymore was close my eyes and weather the storm. Deep within the dense woods, a mansion appeared before us, like the world fading into view after a dream. It didn't seem to be an especially large house, but it had obviously been constructed with a great deal of care, and it was, thankfully, not standing in ruins. This deep in the forest? The carriage came to a stop, and the coachman climbed down, signaling with his chin for me to get out. Thank you very much. You must be tired after such a long journey. This is the mansion I am looking for, yes? The The driver didn't even acknowledge me, getting back onto the carriage and setting off into the forest. He seemed to want to get as far away from here as quickly as possible. He could have said something. Oh well. That was about all I could say anyway. Oh well. I couldn't blame anyone for my being here, for this, or for his wanting to get out. I should get going, I guess. Getting a better look at it, the house's windows were, strangely enough, all shuttered. It was probably dark as pitch inside. Does no one live here? But if that's the case, then why was I... placed my hand on the front door. Such a big door. What if I couldn't get in? I had no idea what else there was in this area. If the door didn't open, then I would die out here in the forest. I've come to accept much, but I was not ready to forfeit my life yet. Please open. It's not locked, I guess. The door was heavy, and though it seemed to protest my attempts to enter, it still opened much easier than I was expecting. I was worried over nothing. Looking in, I got the strangest impression that light was being swallowed up into the mansion's depths. Rather than going inside, it felt as though I was about to step outside the boundaries of this world. When I closed the door, it was so dark I couldn't even tell where I was walking. I wonder if the window's open. Though I managed to fumble my way over to a window, it was tightly shuttered, and the shutters caked with rust. I was probably not getting it open without a fight. Darn, not a hint of light. I couldn't even see my hand waving in front of my face. It felt as though the floor would fall out from under me, and I would sink into eternal darkness if I didn't watch my step. Fighting back that fear, I slowly walked forward, tracing the wall. Oh, oops. That's okay. With my hand. Aha! There was a door at the end of a long corridor. I pulled it open, and a wisp of bone-chilling air brushed past me. It was too dark to see anything, but I could feel something different present in this area than the rest of the house. Uneasiness gripped me. Hello? Is anyone there? Please don't tell me it's actually abandoned. I suppose I can't know without looking around a bit more. My voice simply disappeared into the void. No response. As I pushed forward through the freezing air, for a split second, I spotted a shimmer of light. Squinting my eyes, I was able to make out a large window. Unlike the others, it wasn't shuttered. What do we have here? Drapes? I see a little light beyond. My chances were slim, I imagined, but if there was even a slight possibility of getting some light in here, it was worth a shot. So I pulled open the drapes. The next moment, faint but colorful light shone down on me. It was a stained glass window. From beyond the glass, I could hear the subtle pitter-patter of rain. It had finally started, it seemed. The different colors of light blended into a milky white, dim but wondrous. It's so pretty. It looks like an angel? Why would someone cover this up? It's beautiful. With a little more light, it'd be...
Please do not touch the drapes. Or the windows.
Suddenly, I heard a voice, and I could sense someone else in the room. The man's voice was emotionless, neither deep nor high. Before long, he came into view, illuminated by dull orange candlelight.
Our man! There he is!
There he is! I'm sorry for coming in uninvited. But, I did announce myself.
Woo! Awooga!
The man stood there, practically blending in with the darkness. Had he been there the whole time? He was staring straight at me.
Thank you for the thirsty redeem. Good timing.
We are indeed thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
His gaze wavered slightly, but not enough for me to read anything in it. Then again, I could hardly make out any detail at all under the light of a single candle. Is this, your mansion?
It is.
Thank goodness. I was afraid it was deserted.
I suspect you would have preferred if the house were abandoned.
Oh, not at all. I would be scared to death staying in this dark mansion all by myself. I'm sorry. No ill will intended. But I do think it could do with some light. That way you could see where you were walking. And I'm sure this room would look splendid illuminated.
Not necessary. I might do perfectly well as things are.
So saintly?
He is. He's so pretty.
He is!
I'm so, like, enamored with him.
Me too! How can you see when it's so dark?
I have an abundance of candle and oil for lamps. I am not in want of means of creating light. It is not your place to criticize my lifestyle.
When he looks away, he's like, oh.
If you need light, you are free to leave. If you are in need of money, help yourself to some of the furniture. There's a village not far from here. Trade it for food, then make your way to a larger town.
I am no longer able to freely return to the city. I cannot go back there. Please, don't chase me out.
I see. And do you ask this of me aware of how people refer to this mansion?
They say the witch lives here.
Not merely a witch.
A cursed witch.
If you remain here, you too shall likely suffer your own destruction.
You're worried for my well-being? Witch or not, my mind is made up. I was sent to this cursed witch mansion to atone for my transgressions back in the city. It didn't matter what lived here. I had no choice.
Which will strike you first, I wonder? Regret or the curse?
You seem to be doing just fine. That goes through. It's only a tale.
The witch is real. Very much so. It is not a legend nor a fairy tale. The witch.
The witch's name was Morgana.
Is me.
Dun dun dun!
Dun, dun, dun. Yes. That was our first encounter. It was nothing flowery or dramatic. It was rather laced with suspicion and wariness. We knew nothing about one another, and I had no interest in changing that. But nonetheless, that was where it all began, where my history with her commenced. The woman had jade eyes. Open wide, they glimmered like jewels in the light shining through the stained glass window. She seemed to be at a loss for words. I wasn't lying per se. The rumors said a witch lived in this house, and I was the only one who filled that criteria. Thus, said rumors could be interpreted to be talking about me. After staring at me dumbfounded for a few moments, the woman suddenly burst into laughter.
Oh, wow! Here I was thinking you were kind of scary, and it turns out you're actually quite funny.
What?
I never would have guessed you were someone to tell such a ridiculous joke with a straight face.
Yes, I love how Giselle's text box has red roses and then Michelle's has the blue leaves.
So cute.
It's so pretty. I wasn't.
You don't look at all like a witch. I mean, it's dark and I can't really see. But you seem to me like a rather handsome man.
The word witch. The word witch has broader meaning than just a woman who practices magic. Any unholy person with cursed powers, man or woman, can be considered a witch.
I think I get what you're trying to say. My mental image of a witch is definitely more a woman. So you're not a witch.
I love her.
Thank you. To tell you the truth, I didn't know who might be here, which had me rather scared. But I think I can make this work.
What do you...
It's a pleasure to meet you, Master.
Master?
I was sent here from your old home. I was an Abigail for your mother, but, well, I might have made a little goof.
I froze the moment the word left her mouth. Home. It rattled around in my skull, shaking up terrible memories that almost brought me to my knees. Why, after all these years, were they reaching out to me now? Yes, Giselle is great. I love her. I can't wait for you guys to get to know her.
Yeah.
And not even sending someone to bring me back. Just sending someone. To what end? For what purpose had they shipped an Abigail out to this remote mansion? What was my mother thinking? Was this another one of her attempts to break my curse? What do you mean you made a little goof? My voice came out weak. I did my best not to let it show on my face.
It was a teeny tiny mistake. Nothing you need to concern yourself with.
What did...
Tiny little oops.
What did Mother say about me?
Well, it was actually your father who told me to come here. I never really spoke to your mother much.
Father sent you? That made even less sense. Why would he have... Did Father even know I was here? No, if he had known, I would have been... Who was this woman? And what was her goal in asking to stay here?
Well, there you have it. I'll be here for a while.
Nilla, thank you for the bit. And oopsie whoopsie doopsie woo, happy birthday from the Chili's crew. What's up, Freyja? Like, what? Is it somebody's birthday? Freyja, is that your birthday?
Soon. Two
Soon.
more days.
2 more days. Hi Nilla, how are you? Good to see you.
If you need me for anything, do not hesitate to ask. I'm confident I can handle most everyday tasks. Now, where should I begin? Oh, I know. Are you hungry, Master? Food. I can't imagine you eat much, being as skinny as you are. Thank you for the happy birthday.
Yeah. I turned my back on her without responding. No matter what her goal was, she had been sent from that house. There was no way anything good could come of that, and there was no way I could live with someone who had ties to them. I prayed she would take the hint, give up, and leave.
Master!
And so I kept ignoring her.
Master! Master!
I ignored.
Master!
I ignored her.
Master, what would you like for supper?
Nothing! But failed, spinning back and shouting. Her eyes went wide, And then she gave a sheepish giggle. I glared at her as she fidgeted uncomfortably.
Eating is one of the most basic human needs, so if you're hungry, you should really eat.
I said I didn't want. What was that sound?
Must you ask? That's not a very polite thing to ask a lady, you know.
Huh?
You know, it was a long trip, and all I had to eat on the road was dried fruit. I felt like I was some kind of animal. So, what I'm trying to say is that I'm hungry.
Hungry?
I'm hungry. Master, feed me, please.
Ew! Don't say that to me! Freyja!
Master, I'm gonna go make us dinner so I can eat. Bye!
That wasn't the sound of her stomach growling, was it? I thought lightning had struck in the distance.
And would like some supper.
The kitchen is at the far end of the hall on the first floor. There's food in the cellar. Help yourself to any of it.
Thank you so much. I honestly feel like I haven't eaten in days and I'm about to die of starvation. Oh, and I shouldn't need any help finding it. I plan on exploring the house anyway. It's rather exciting being in a new place.
Damn it, that did not go as planned. Oh well. She can do as she pleases. I'll have nothing to do with it.
Oh, Master, are you sure you don't...
No.
Master. Master.
What is it now?
My name is Giselle. It's a pleasure to meet you. And your name, Oh, Master, you!
I actually left the room that time, making my way back to my chambers. At some point, I would seriously have to chase her out, especially considering she had come from that house. But regardless, I was not terribly fond of her.
I feel like this is a good place to end it.
I think maybe here is where we should take our end for now for this stream. Oh, I'm so happy we've gotten here though.
Me too.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Oh no!
Oh my gosh! We made it to the end of the stream, and we got to one of the biggest reveals in the game.
We did!
Oh
How's
my gosh!
feeling?
Yeah, how's it going, everybody?
Thank you for the juice you redeemed.
Yes, let's have a little drink to recover from... It's funny, I feel like I'm not like as tired as usual, but maybe I was just so excited about getting to this part.
I was so excited! Yeah, me too!
I'm just like, oh my god, we did it. We're here.
We're here. We have our girl to look forward to. We have their beautiful, proper relationship.
Oh my goodness. It's very exciting. Yes,
is.
we can show the Giselle love in this chat.
Yes!
Oh no, Freyja, you've been Hall of Shame.
Oh no! Hall of Shame!
That's what you get. What did you expect would happen? You
Not
said
that.
Don't cry. You did this to yourself. Oh my god.
But yes, that was fun.
Oh my gosh, yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so happy we're at this part. I want it to be next week already.
Me too. I really, really love it from this point forward.
Oh my gosh.
So much to learn. So much.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this chapter.
Right? Oh my
I can't
goodness.
wait.
No, they're so in love.
Oh,
They don't know it yet.
Yeah,
but they
you
are.
guys don't, like, they don't know it yet, but they invented love.
They did. They
did.
absolutely did.
Yeah.
Back in 1099. They
Love was
invented
invented. Yeah.
Yes. If you look it up in the history, if you Google when was love created, it would be in 1099.
By Michelle and Giselle.
Yes.
Aw, that's okay. If you need nap, you take nap. But I'm happy you made it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed the acting.
Yeah,
I've gotten
thank
really
you.
into it too. It's fun.
Same. Oh my goodness. I was crying twice, at least twice.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's gonna be really hard for me to keep it together for this chapter.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm just like, I'm gonna be like, thinking about Michelle and Giselle, and then I'm gonna just start crying.
Me too.
I'm gonna think about how they're perfect and how they deserve to be happy.
Yeah.
But how we know, because we've already seen how it turns out, that something's gonna happen. Oh my god, I want to scream every few minutes so bad.
Same. Oh my goodness, same.
Oh my god. It's a lot of self-control. Oh.
It's hard. This is part of the game. Oh no, this is the ending. Oh no!
Oh, I'm gonna fucking lose it at the ending.
Oh my god, me too.
I'm pretty sure we're just gonna be sitting there together in the credits crying. I'm like 99% sure that's how it's gonna turn out.
Absolutely, that's how it's gonna turn out. Oh, I'm so scared.
Oh my gosh. I hope all the newcomers to the story are looking forward to it as well. I can't wait to see
Yes.
your guys'
Oh my
reactions
goodness.
and thoughts.
Yeah, honestly, like it's at this point. Like I liked the stories leading up to this point, but I think it was at this point where I like absolutely immediately fell in love with it. Like the writing is so good.
This is the point where I definitely went from like, oh, this visual novel is really good to, oh, this visual novel is really good.
Exactly. This is the part where it became one of my favorite visual novels in the entirety of visual novels.
Yep. It is definitely my top favorite, and I read a lot of visual
Yeah.
novels, and there are a lot that I adore so much. So
But this one just good.
it really gets me, and it's very special to me, and just the characters have such a dear place in my heart.
I know, Giselle.
Giselle!
Ah! Morgana.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We're gonna have so much fun.
Yeah, like we know now who you are. We know who the maid is. We don't know who the white hair girl is yet, really.
Yeah, we don't really know who the witch Morgana is, but she certainly seems to exist.
Yeah. There's so many mysteries still. We don't know why their past was so sad.
I know. It's,
Oh, it's so good.
oh, it's so good! We're
It's
about
so
to get to
good.
such good stuff. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So, I'm really excited for next week. I can't wait.
Me too.
Wish I could just like fast forward and get there. If like it wouldn't kill our voice, I'd be like, alright Freyja, we're going through the night.
Let's go! I'd be so excited too. But we must show restraint, I suppose.
Yes. But alright, I guess let's find somebody to raid.
Yeah, let's see. Who's on right now?
Oh, there's a VTuber playing Pokemon Emerald. That could be a cute one to do.
That could be.
I know, I wish I could fast forward. Alright. Oh man, what kind of raid message shall we go with this time?
Oh no. Love inventing raid.
Yes, yes, let's do it. Okay. One
Touch
second.
the curtains raid. That's good too.
That would be a funny one too. Alright. There we go. And then we are gonna raid. And let me make sure I type in their username correctly. We could do Feed Me Master Raid. What do you think, Freyja?
No,
What do you
absolutely not.
Well, why not?
I think you're gonna scare off somebody.
Man, I would be scaring them off. You'd be scaring them off.
No.
You'd be scaring them off.
No way, I would never. What?
Alright, oh no, they have follower subscriber only chat. Maybe we should raid somebody else then. Just that, like, we don't have to follow to give the raid message.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's see. Let me see, how about you? There's somebody doing art. Are you a VTuber? Let me take a look. So I like to raid other VTubers.
Yeah.
It's just nice to... Yes, have a good sleep! Oh god, that sure is a Twitch ad.
Oh no.
I could raid Aqua Sereni, but I don't know, she sounds kinda lame. I'm not sure if she's worth raiding.
Yeah, I don't know about her.
I don't know, she might kinda suck.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, it looks like she's a PNG tuber. Let's raid this person.
Perfect, let's go.
Oh, that's /raid, not /rad. Alright.
/rad.
Alright. Let's go, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you so much for coming to the stream.
Thank you.
Alright. See you. Yes, see you on Freyja's channel on Monday for Final Fantasy XIV. I'll be playing The Great Ace Attorney on Tuesday night, and then on Saturday we'll be back for Fatamoru.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.